Welcome back, everybody. Today, we're going to be taking a deep dive into cryptocurrency.
Oh, yeah.
Specifically, Ethereum.
Okay.
So you would think, with a pro-crypto administration winning the election,
Right.
everyone would be, celebrating.
Right.
Bitcoin certainly is.
Mm-hmm.
It's near its all-time high.
Mm-hmm.
But Ethereum's price has been, well,
Not quite as good.
yeah, not as bubbly.
Yeah.
So what's the deal?
Yeah. Why should we care about that?
And that's exactly what we're going to unpack today.
Okay.
We've got this really insightful article we're looking at.
Uh-huh.
It kind of looks at, Ethereum's performance,
Okay.
given the recent political events.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what's happening in the market.
Right.
It has a range of opinions.
Interesting.
Everything from Ethereum is doomed to this is just a temporary dip.
Okay, cool.
So we're going to explore all of that today.
Sounds good.
One of the most interesting things that this article points out is,
Yeah.
kind of the performance difference between Bitcoin and Ethereum. So Bitcoin's near its all-time high,
Right.
but Ethereum is lagging behind.
Okay.
And in fact, the ETH-BTC ratio,
Mm-hmm.
stay with me here, we're going to break this down,
Sure.
is at a multi-year low.
Wow.
So what does this actually tell us about where Ethereum is at?
Right. What does that even mean?
Yeah.
So that ETH-BTC ratio is a really good way to kind of look at, how Ethereum's performing relative to Bitcoin,
Mhm.
because it essentially says, how much Bitcoin would I have to trade to get one Ethereum?
Right.
So if that ratio is dropping, then it means that Ethereum is losing value compared to Bitcoin.
Right.
And, it's especially notable because, we had this political win in the crypto space.
Yeah.
And you would think that, a pro-crypto administration would lift all crypto boats.
You would think.
But Ethereum isn't really riding that wave.
It's almost like Bitcoin got the VIP invite to the victory party,
Yeah.
and Ethereum stuck out online. And you know who's really loving this?
Who?
The Bitcoin maximalists.
Oh, yeah.
They are back in full force.
Oh, I bet.
Basically saying, I told you so.
Yeah, right.
One quote that really stood out to me was
Yeah.
someone saying, it feels like market share loss for Ethereum.
Oof. Yeah, that's got to sting.
Yeah.
So the Bitcoin maximalists, they have this long-standing belief that, Bitcoin is the one true cryptocurrency, king of the hill.
Yeah.
And so they see Ethereum's current struggles as
Evidence.
exactly as evidence to support that claim. And so they're pointing to a few things.
Okay.
First, they say that, Ethereum's losing ground to other altcoins.
Right.
Getting kind of outshined by the new kids on the block.
Mm-hmm.
And second, there's this idea that Ethereum is pumping late in the cycle.
Okay, can we unpack that for our listeners?
Yeah, what does that even mean?
Yeah, crypto jargon.
Right, so pumping late in the cycle basically means that
Right.
Ethereum's price increases tend to happen later in Bitcoin's market cycles. So Bitcoin tends to surge first.
Yeah.
And then Ethereum follows.
Okay.
And so the risk here is that by the time Ethereum starts to gain momentum,
Yeah.
the overall market might be nearing a peak.
Right.
So there's less room for Ethereum to grow.
So it's like showing up to the party when everyone's about to leave.
Yeah, exactly.
Not ideal.
Not the best timing.
But even with this seemingly positive political event,
Yeah.
the article points out
Yeah.
that Ethereum's price relative to Bitcoin actually hit a new low.
Wow. Okay.
So that seems kind of counterintuitive, doesn't it?
It does.
Okay.
It's really interesting because you would think that, this big development that should be bullish for all cryptocurrencies, Ethereum would at least see some boost,
Yeah.
but it didn't really.
Not really.
And so it just makes you think what's going on here.
Yeah. What's really driving this?
Yeah, what's driving this price action?
The article even quoted one investor who said that this post-election low was way more brutal
Oh, wow.
than they anticipated.
Okay.
So even with good news for crypto in general,
Right.
Ethereum can't seem to catch a break.
Yeah, what's going on?
Yeah, so why is that?
Yeah.
What factors are at play here?
So there are a few potential culprits.
Sorry.
One factor is the rising competition
Okay.
from other altcoins.
Right.
So, Ethereum used to be
Yeah.
the undisputed leader
Yeah.
in the smart contract platform space.
Mm-hmm.
But now there's all these other players. They're vying for attention.
Right.
They're offering, faster transaction speeds, lower fees, unique features that Ethereum doesn't have.
Yeah.
So it's a very crowded playing field, and Ethereum is feeling the heat.
So it's like Ethereum was the star athlete,
Right.
but now there's all these rookies
Exactly.
who are like coming for the spotlight.
Yeah, they want to take that spot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that makes sense.
Yeah. So it's not just about competition, though. There are also technological advancements
Okay.
that are putting pressure on Ethereum. So newer blockchains are emerging.
Right.
And they have, faster transaction speeds,
Okay.
lower fees.
Right.
And this is really attractive to developers and users who are looking for, a smoother experience.
Right.
Something that's more cost effective.
Yeah, so it's like that reliable old car
Right.
that gets you from point A to point B.
Yeah.
But now everyone's obsessed with these new electric vehicles.
Exactly, like shiny and new. Everyone loves that.
Right.
And then there's investor sentiment,
Oh, yeah.
you know?
Right.
Markets are driven by emotions as much as logic.
Absolutely.
And crypto is no exception.
Yeah.
So even if the news is positive,
Right.
if investors are hesitant or fearful, it can impact the price.
Yeah. Fear and uncertainty spread like wildfire
They do,
in the crypto world.
especially in the crypto world.
Yeah. So we've got competition, we've got tech advancements,
Right.
we've got this shaky investor sentiment.
Yeah.
Not exactly a recipe for success.
Not really.
But before we write off ETH completely,
Okay.
the article does present a counterargument.
Oh, okay.
It talks about this trader, Credible Crypto,
Okay.
who's actually bullish on ETH
All right. Interesting. to hear.
and went so far as to buy more ETH recently.
Okay.
And they're predicting some pretty impressive price targets.
Right. Well, that brings up the role of institutional investors. Because the article also points out that these big players are still putting money into Ethereum through ETFs, which suggests that they see long-term potential.
So while some traders might be jumping ship,
Yeah.
it sounds like the whales are holding strong.
It seems that way.
Interesting dynamic.
It is. And there's some data to support that, too.
Okay.
So last week, we saw a big inflow of funds into ETH ETFs in the U.S.,
Okay.
enough to actually flip the total aggregate net flow. It's too positive for ETH ETFs.
Wow.
For the first time since these funds launched back in July.
So that's a pretty significant sign of confidence.
It seems like it.
Yeah.
Coming from institutional investors.
Wow. Okay, so we've got Bitcoin soaring,
Yeah.
Ethereum struggling,
Yeah.
Bitcoin maximalists gloating, institutional investors quietly loading up on ETH.
Yeah. It's like a Wall Street drama.
It really is.
Playing out in real time.
Yeah.
But the thing is,
Yeah.
no one can predict the future
Right.
of the crypto market with any certainty.
Absolutely.
It's constantly evolving,
Yeah.
full of surprises,
Right.
influenced by so many things.
So trying to predict what's going to happen to Ethereum is like trying to predict the weather.
It is.
You can look at the patterns, you can make some educated guesses,
Right.
but ultimately you just don't know.
Yeah, you never really know for sure.
Yeah.
And I think to really understand where Ethereum might be heading,
Okay.
we need to look beyond just the headlines. Consider the historical trends, the broader economic landscape, all of those things.
Okay, so let's dig a little deeper then.
Right.
First up, historical trends.
Okay.
Does the past offer any clues about Ethereum's future?
It can.
Okay.
So Ethereum's price, particularly relative to Bitcoin,
Right.
tends to follow certain patterns,
Okay.
especially within the context of Bitcoin's 4-year halving cycles.
Right. Bitcoin's halving cycles. Can you remind us what those are
Oh, yeah, of course.
and why they matter?
So Bitcoin's halving is this programmed event that happens roughly every 4 years.
Yeah.
And essentially, the reward for mining new Bitcoins is cut in half.
Okay.
So this reduction in new supply
Right.
often puts upward pressure
Okay.
on the price over time.
Yeah.
Historically, we've seen, ETH, BTC experience some volatility related to these cycles.
Okay, so how does that relate to Ethereum's current situation?
Well, we're currently in the post-halving period for Bitcoin, and historically, this hasn't been a great time for ETTTC.
Okay.
It's often a period where Bitcoin kind of asserts its dominance,
Yeah.
and most altcoins, including Ethereum, tend to lag behind.
So it's like Bitcoin is the lead dancer
Yeah.
and Ethereum's trying to keep up with its rhythm.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
You know, they're kind of tied together,
Yeah.
but their movements don't always sync up perfectly.
Okay, so historical trends suggest that Ethereum's got some catching up to do.
Right.
But what about the bigger economic picture?
Yeah.
We all know the economy has been a bit of a roller coaster lately.
It has.
How is that impacting the crypto world?
Yeah, so that's a critical piece of the puzzle.
Right.
So you know the global economy is in flux right now.
Yeah.
You know, we've got rising interest rates, we've got persistent inflation, geopolitical tensions, all of these things.
You know, can impact investor sentiment.
Right.
And their willingness to,
Yeah.
you know, take risks on assets like crypto.
It's like trying to walk a tightrope
I know, right?
during an earthquake.
It's so shaky.
It's really shaky. Yeah. So
Yeah.
how does this play into Ethereum's prospects?
So when there's economic uncertainty, investors tend to flock to what they perceive as safe havens.
Okay.
So things like gold, maybe even the US dollar,
Right.
and cryptocurrencies being relatively new and volatile are often seen as risky assets.
Yeah.
So when investors are feeling cautious,
Right.
crypto tends to take a hit, and Ethereum is no exception.
So even though its underlying technology might be solid, it's getting caught in these crosswinds.
It is, you know, it's important to remember that market forces can sometimes overshadow the fundamentals, at least in the short term.
Yeah. Right. So we've got historical patterns.
And we've got this choppy economic outlook, both seemingly working against Ethereum right now.
It seems that way.
But there's always another side to the coin.
Yeah, there is.
So what are some of the factors that could potentially drive its resurgence?
Right. What could turn this tide?
Yeah.
So there are a few potential catalysts on the horizon, first and foremost.
Yeah.
Ethereum's transition to a proof-of-stake consensus mechanism.
Okay, back up for a second.
Yeah.
Proof of stake.
Okay.
Can you break that down?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
In the simplest terms.
Better for the environment.
Better for the environment. Yeah.
Okay. And this shift to proof of stake.
Yeah.
It's a big deal.
It's a really big deal.
Yeah.
It's expected to attract more developers, make the user experience better, and even appeal to investors who are focused on, you know, those ESG factors, environmental, social governance.
Yeah. So this Ethereum 2.0 upgrade could be a game changer.
It has the potential to be.
Okay.
But that's not the only thing that's working in Ethereum's favor.
What else?
The continued growth of decentralized finance.
Oh, yeah. DeFi. DeFi, exactly.
I've heard that term thrown around a lot.
Yeah.
I'll admit I'm still a bit fuzzy on what that is.
So DeFi, short for decentralized finance, is essentially a whole suite of financial services built on blockchain technology.
All right.
So think of it as a parallel financial system that operates outside of traditional banks and institutions. So it's like cutting out the middleman.
Yeah, exactly. No more banks, no more brokers.
Okay.
Just you and the blockchain.
Okay.
And here's the key thing.
Yeah.
Ethereum is currently the leading platform for DeFi applications.
Interesting.
So as the DeFi space continues to grow, Ethereum's poised to benefit.
Yeah, because the more demand there is for these DeFi applications, the higher the demand for ETH.
Exactly.
Which could drive up its price.
Right.
So it's like Ethereum is the foundation.
It is.
Of this whole new financial ecosystem.
It's pretty powerful stuff.
Yeah, that's pretty powerful stuff.
And then there's NFTs.
Oh, yeah.
Non-fungible tokens.
NFTs.
You've probably heard about these.
Oh, yeah, those digital collectibles that have taken the world by storm.
Exactly. You know, those digital cats.
Yeah.
The apes, the punks.
The punk, everyone's obsessed with them.
Everyone's obsessed.
Yeah.
But NFTs are much more than just quirky collectibles.
Right.
They represent a whole new way of owning and trading digital assets.
Okay.
So everything from art and music to virtual real estate.
Wow.
In-game items.
Wow.
And guess what? The vast majority of NFTs are built on the Ethereum blockchain.
So Ethereum's at the heart of this NFT revolution, too.
It is.
That's a lot of potential for growth.
A lot of potential.
Okay, so we've got the Ethereum 2.0 upgrade.
Right.
We've got the booming DeFi space, the rise of NFTs.
Yeah.
All potentially fueling Ethereum's comeback.
Right.
But you mentioned risks earlier.
I did.
What are some of the things...
Yeah, what could derail this?
Yeah, that could derail this journey.
What should we be watching out for?
Yeah, what should we be watching out for?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
And it's important to be aware of the potential downsides.
Right.
No investment is without risk.
Yeah.
And that's especially true
Right.
in the crypto world. One of the biggest challenges facing Ethereum,
Okay.
even with the move to proof of stake, is scalability.
Okay.
During periods of high activity on the network, things can get congested,
Right.
leading to slower transaction times,
Right.
higher fees.
So it's like trying to fit a whole city's worth of traffic
Exactly.
onto a single lane road.
Yeah, you get backed up.
You get backed up.
It takes forever to get anywhere.
Yeah, and that can be frustrating for users and developers who are looking for, smooth and affordable transactions.
Smooth and affordable, yeah.
So what's being done?
So there are a number of scaling solutions being developed, both within the Ethereum ecosystem and by competing blockchains.
Okay.
And these solutions are essentially like adding more lanes to that highway.
Right.
They aim to increase throughput, allow it to handle more transactions per second, and reduce costs.
So it's like building a superhighway.
It is.
For the crypto world.
Exactly.
Okay.
And the success of these scaling solutions is really crucial
Yeah.
for Ethereum's long-term viability.
Okay, so scalability is one hurdle. What else is on the list?
Another risk is competition.
Oh, yeah.
So remember, Ethereum isn't the only player.
Right.
There are lots of other smart contract platforms out there, all vying for market share.
Yeah, it's like a race to the top.
It is.
Of the crypto mountain.
Yeah.
With everyone trying to outdo each other.
Exactly.
Okay.
And some of these competing blockchains are making really impressive strides, attracting developers and users with their innovative features and low fees.
So Ethereum can't rest on its laurels.
It can't.
It's got to keep innovating.
It's got to keep pushing the boundaries.
Yeah.
And then there's regulation.
Oh, right. Regulation.
Wild card.
The wild card.
Yeah. Governments around the world are still figuring out how to approach cryptocurrency and any new laws or regulations that have a major impact on the market.
Yeah, it's like playing a game.
It is.
Where the rules can change at any moment.
Yeah, exactly. And the outcome of this regulatory game could either create a smoother path for adoption or throw up some roadblocks.
Okay, so a lot to consider.
It's a lot to consider.
Potential upsides, potential downsides.
Yeah.
It's enough to make your head spin.
It is a lot.
So how do we make sense of all this?
Well, the crypto market is complex.
Yeah.
It's constantly evolving and often unpredictable.
Right.
But that's also part of what makes it so fascinating.
True.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's bring it back down to earth for a second.
Okay.
Where does all this leave Ethereum in the short term?
So that's a tough question to answer with certainty.
Right.
But here's what I'd say.
Okay.
In the near term,
I think Ethereum's price is likely to be influenced by a combination of factors.
Okay, give us the rundown.
So first, keep an eye on Bitcoin.
Okay.
Remember that interconnected dance we talked about?
Yeah.
If Bitcoin continues to surge, there's a good chance that Ethereum could get pulled along.
Okay, so Bitcoin is still the conductor.
In many ways, yeah.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that Ethereum can't,
right,
have its own breakout performance.
Okay.
Another factor to watch is the progress of Ethereum 2.0.
Right.
Any updates or milestones related to the transition to proof of stake could spark renewed interest in investment.
Okay, so tech upgrades are key.
Tech upgrades are very important.
What else should we be tracking?
Don't underestimate market sentiment.
Yeah.
Fear and greed are really powerful in the crypto world.
Yeah.
If investors get overly bullish or bearish, it can lead to some pretty wild swings.
Yeah.
So it's important to stay informed, but also try to filter out the noise.
Don't get swept up in the hype.
Exactly.
Whether it's good or bad.
Whether it's good or bad, yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, we can't forget about the broader economic landscape.
Right.
If the global economy takes a downturn, it could create a ripple effect across the entire crypto market.
It's like we're trying to predict the movements of a butterfly.
I know.
In a hurricane.
In a hurricane, so many factors.
It's so many factors.
Yeah. But the good news is we don't have to have all the answers right now.
Right.
The key is to stay informed.
Yeah.
Do your own research. Make investment decisions that align with your risk tolerance.
Absolutely.
And your financial goals.
Solid advice.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, we're going to take a quick break.
Okay.
When we come back, we'll explore some potential scenarios for Ethereum's future.
Okay.
And discuss what this all means for you, the listener. Sounds good.
What are the key takeaways you should be thinking about as you navigate the crypto world?
Right.
Stay tuned. Okay, so we're back and ready to put on our futurist hats.
All right.
We've covered a lot of ground, exploring, all these different forces that are at play.
Right.
But the big question remains,
Yeah.
where could this crypto roller coaster take us?
Where are we headed?
What are some of the possible scenarios
Right.
for Ethereum's future?
Yeah. Let's imagine a few different paths forward.
Okay.
One scenario, often called the flippening,
Okay.
is a dream for many diehard ETH fans.
What is the flippening?
In this scenario, Ethereum surpasses Bitcoin to become the dominant cryptocurrency.
So it's like the king of the crypto castle.
Exactly. It becomes the king.
Wow.
Fueled by, a successful transition to Ethereum 2.0, continued growth in DeFi and NFTs, and maybe even a little stumble from Bitcoin.
So in this scenario, Ethereum becomes like the go-to platform for all these decentralized applications.
Exactly.
The gold standard of the digital world.
It becomes the foundation for this new wave of innovation.
Okay.
The backbone of the decentralized internet.
All right, so that's one possibility.
Right.
Ethereum takes the throne, but what are some other potential outcomes?
Another scenario
we
could see is what I would call peaceful coexistence.
Peaceful coexistence.
Okay. So in this scenario,
Yeah.
both Bitcoin and Ethereum thrive,
Okay.
but they each carve out
Yeah.
their own distinct roles.
Okay.
So Bitcoin remains that store of value, like the digital gold.
Right.
But Ethereum becomes the platform for innovation,
Okay.
the engine powering the decentralized web.
So less of a battle for dominance.
Right.
And more of a division of labor.
Yeah, they complement each other.
Okay.
They coexist, serving different needs
Gotcha.
and attracting different parts of the market.
That's a more harmonious vision of the future.
It is.
I have a feeling you have at least one more scenario up your sleeve.
I do.
And this one's maybe a bit more grounded in reality.
This one is a bit more cautious.
Okay.
I'm going to call this the long road ahead.
The long road ahead. Okay.
So in this scenario,
Yeah.
Ethereum continues to face some challenges.
Right.
Scalability remains an issue.
Okay.
Competition from other blockchains heats up. Regulatory uncertainty hangs over the market.
Right.
ETH's price is volatile.
Okay.
And its journey towards mainstream adoption is
Phew.
slower
Yeah.
and bumpier
Yeah.
than many had hoped.
The reality check scenario.
It is.
So in this case, Ethereum's success isn't guaranteed.
Not necessarily.
It's more of a marathon.
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Okay, so three very different scenarios.
Yeah.
The flippening,
Right.
peaceful coexistence, and the long road ahead.
Yeah.
As a listener, how do I even begin to make sense of all this?
Right. What does this all mean for me?
Yeah.
So that's the million-dollar question. And I wish there was a simple answer. Yeah. But predicting the future is tough. Yeah. Especially with something as dynamic as cryptocurrency. Right. But here's what I would encourage you to do. Okay. First and foremost, do your own research. Okay. Don't just blindly follow headlines or social media hype.
Right.
Really dig in.
Yeah.
Understand the technology, the team behind the project, the real-world use cases,
Right.
and the risks involved
Okay.
before investing in any cryptocurrency.
Knowledge is power.
It is, especially in the crypto world.
Absolutely. Okay, what else?
Second, try to think long-term.
Oh, okay.
So the crypto market is incredibly volatile in the short term.
Right.
Easily swayed by speculation, news cycles, even social media trends.
Oh, yeah.
But if you believe in the underlying technology and its potential to really disrupt industries, you got to tune out the noise.
Right.
Focus on the big picture.
So don't get swept up in the day-to-day drama.
Exactly.
Think about where things might be headed.
Yeah, 5-10 years down the line.
Okay.
And finally, don't underestimate diversification.
Oh, yeah, right.
Don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Right.
Whether that's Bitcoin, Ethereum, any other single asset.
Right. Spread the risk.
Spread your risk.
Okay.
Explore different sectors within the crypto space, and always invest responsibly.
Right.
Never more than you can afford to lose.
Words to live by.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've talked about a lot today.
Yeah, we've covered a lot of ground.
What's your gut feeling?
You know me, I'm all about the data, the
Yeah.
long-term trends.
Right.
Based on everything we've explored today, I'm leaning towards a combination of peaceful coexistence
Okay.
and the long road ahead.
Okay.
I think Bitcoin and Ethereum both have the potential to be major players in this space,
Yeah.
but it's going to be a journey bumps along the way.
Yeah.
And Ethereum's going to have to innovate and adapt
Right.
to thrive.
Okay. A balanced perspective,
Trying to be.
as always.
Yeah.
Well, we've explored the highs and lows of Ethereum's performance.
Yeah.
We've examined the factors shaping its price. We even ventured into the realm of future possibilities.
We did.
Now it's your turn to ponder.
Yeah. What do you think is going to happen?
Do you see Ethereum flippening Bitcoin?
Yeah.
Will they coexist peacefully?
Mm-hmm.
Or is this the beginning of a long and winding road?
Right.
Keep those questions in mind
Yeah.
as you continue your exploration of the crypto world.
Absolutely.
And as always,
Mm-hmm.
thanks for joining us for another deep dive.